They already have the data you collected. They understand it. Past that, if they don't want to pay you, they're not gonna pay you.
Well,
If they don't want to pay
the thing is,
you,
they're not evil.
they're not gonna pay
I
you.
feel like they do usually if they go. Well, the thing is,
If they don't want to
the
pay
thing
you,
is, they're not evil. I feel like the
they're not.
Assassin's Guild does pay you this. How they got the money? It's probably blood money. But they will pay you this.
You don't want
How
to
they
know.
got the money?
You shouldn't
It's
have told
probably
me. And now I'm telling you, you don't want to know.
exactly. Now you see. Because remember, this isn't the lawful evil guild. This is like
That really depends on which minor faction or.
Yeah, that is true. It does 100% depend on which major branch you're in. But I would say that also goes for like a lot of the guilds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Though,
I'm hungry.
right. No, I feel that. I feel that.
I'm gonna make myself a grilled cheese while we talk.
Oh, 100%. Dude, grilled cheese is great. I love grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese is always good.
I do not know why I'm so hungry. I just ate a couple hours ago.
I know. I got my dinner in my fridge right now. It's like I got Mexican for breakfast and dinner.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
With brats for lunch.
Ooh.
Yes,
I want Mexican now.
Yeah, I got my Mexican place from a place in town, and it's wonderful. I love it.
Is it like a
I'm going to say that on the air.
Is it white people?
Okay.
Is it like a white people Mexican, or is it like actual Mexican?
Actual Mexicans. They do have a couple white people, but you know.
Okay, for the record, I said actual Mexican, not actual Mexicans.
Oh, my apologies. I'm not sure how to answer the question then, but as far it's the best Mexican I've had.
You answered my question, just not the way you thought, just not the way that was.
So, you want to do the background for the Merchant Guild tank? Like, you want us to like do that right now? Also, what was the name?
We have.
I am away from my computer.
But I think just leaving it as the Merchant Guild is kind of funny, and also like
it is funny, but it's also lazy writing.
It is. It's one of those things that it makes sense in real life, but not in story.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh no, I 100% get the urge, but we're not doing that.
Yes, I remember reading online like a creative writing professor wouldn't let his student make his evil company in his story have a smirk as a logo, but that'd be too obvious. But do you know what Amazon's logo is?
What?
A smirk.
Oh my god, what?
Yes, it is a smirk. It's a smile with like the little like line on the left side of it.
My gosh. Huh.
No, that's too overtly evil. Let's leave that to IRL evil businesses.
My thing is, I've been trying to help our guilds have original names because I really do want this. When people pick this up and read this, I want it to be something where it feels like this is the first time you're reading it. I don't want it to be something where I've read this before.
I get that.
And like I understand that it's like, oh well, a world of guilds. Oh well, Ravnica had this. It's like yes, but like Ravnica is a very finite setting. Ravnica is a setting where you can't really fit a whole lot into Ravnica.
Despite
Because
Ravnica being an entire world.
yeah, but like Ravnica kind of like shoots itself in the foot with its lore. Its lore is not very open. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
Like I was reading Ravnica and I'm like, wow, all the cool monsters are anywhere the players aren't going to be. uh,
Well, it does make it more about. It makes it more of a social game, like a World of Darkness game, like VTM.
it does make it a more social game, but it's very hard to run conflict in Ravnica, and this is something that I kind of saw when I was reading Ravnica. I'm like, okay, where are the Azurius lawbringers allowed to arrest someone? When is a guild allowed to fight back and not fight back? There is so much that is wishy-washy in how Ravnica kind of interacts with itself. Because sometimes it's like, oh, you don't want to go near the Rakdos at all. You know, the Rakdos, if you go into their territory, you're going to get your butt kicked, your hiney chewed, and you might possibly come out with a new kink. Or with a new hole in your chest. Either way, something's getting penetrated.
Sounds like a good time to me.
Gosh, that was horrible.
Oh, and also, I figured out why I could never stream to YouTube. Why I had such trouble with it.
Hmm?
Apparently, I got it working. It's just I forgot to make it public.
So it seems like we're not having very much luck on D&D, and I'm not... I mean, we have one person watching us. Hey, person, Hearthling in the chat, could you tell us if you're enjoying this conversation or not? Because I'm wondering if, like, our people actually are enjoying this kind of conversation format, or, you know, like if people would genuinely prefer, like, watching us play a video game. So, if you could, and yes, I am talking to you, singular person other than Tank in the chat. Hi, I love you. You're a wonderful person.
I believe Tank is a singular person in chat.
No, there's a second person in there, actually. I'm looking at it right now.
Really? In YouTube?
I just don't. No, in Twitch.
Oh, Twitch.
Oh. Yeah, so like, I think making the Assassins Guild a monthly order that is like very. What if they do just kind of seek out to destroy anomalies when they run into them, unless they can use them?
That was my point.
Okay, yeah, but like, what if we take away like the research thing? I mean, we could keep the research thing if you want. I do like the idea of them being researchers, but what if we scrap that and we're like, oh, these are a monastic order of families dedicated to like keeping the balance and
That
fending off
wouldn't
like no.
that wouldn't make much sense for people so obsessed with knowledge.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Let's keep the researching in. It was just an idea.
Basically, every single monk hates being on a research shift, but basically, when they bring it up to the higher ups, they're met with what's basically suck it up.
Suck it up. We need to get the knowledge somehow, and all of us need to be able to punch things. Or, use punching. Or use a sword to punch something. Or a spear to punch something. The art of the earthly punch is a multitude, child. You shall learn it.
Or the art of the broken spoke.
What was that?
The
So,
art of
mhm,
the art of the broken spoke.
right. So, my question is, as far as their background feature, what if we make their background feature the fact that they have access to libraries, and as long as you guys go into a place that is like a city, as long as you go into a city, you are guaranteed to find some sort of library or place where you can get information. You know what I mean?
That
It's
is
like
rewriting the entire feature that we agreed upon
that
and
wasn't that
remove the story element of the
um
character.
okay. What I'm referring to is in the background feature. I thought we talked about the thing that replaces the level 1 guild spells.
Correct. That's the background ability.
Okay, so what's the background ability? Because I don't remember when we
Well, that's the
wrote.
guild ability. That was skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, yeah. Skeletons in the closet is like where you're able to use that alter self, right?
Correct. And then
Okay,
the
that.
guild feature
Uh huh.
was mistaken guise,
I'm listening because I'm
which
I'm I'm trying to
places
jog my mind, and I think I remember it, but I think I may have thought those were two like you talking about the same thing and passing ideas of the name around. So what is that again?
mistaken guise places you as another member of a different faction.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with a new identity.
Okay, I remember.
Good. I'm
Yes.
glad you do.
Sorry about that. I had just like completely forgotten. So sorry
All
about that.
right.
So okay, so then what else do we have for background to have to figure out?
Nothing. I I finished it.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
I just have ranks left
Um
and the rewards for reaching each rank, which I'm thinking of making the reward for rank 3 access to the turning libraries, which are libraries that can be found in every city in the world. copy with everyone containing every copy of every book that the Guardians have ever written or collected.
Except for like the classified ones, I would say. Like I would think like there
Well,
are
yes,
some
but
that are just like labeled classified.
there are some. There's an entire section in the library called Classified. If you attempt to check out a book from this section, the librarian will take it from you and cut off your finger.
I like that.
Marking you as somewhat of a traitor to the rest of the family.
I like it. So it's like, oh, at rank 3, oh wait. Rank 3. At rank 3, you would basically be over your own quote unquote family, your own monastery basically.
Yes. So the ranks as I have written them
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no,
is
that's fine. Yeah. I
okay.
don't know why I was like, "Oh, rank 3, yada, but it's like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense."
Okay. So rank one is the spokes. We discussed the spokes, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Rank two, these are the hub masters. They are effectively living information hubs. Almost every information, a piece of information that goes into the guild passes through one of their hands,
Mm-hmm.
usually encrypted.
Right.
And that rank is where you would gain access to one rare magic item.
Okay, so one of like the major benefits of this guild is like you do genuinely like get a magic item relating to your like position.
Correct.
Okay, I mean at rank 4 and rank 5 then that's like legendary and then like so let's see uncommon, rare, very rare.
Rank rank
Legendary.
two is the only one that will rank get two is the only one that will access to a mag that will get a magic item
Oh, okay.
for the reward. I am not that unique. Um, I am probably going to stop the ranking system at rank 5.
Hmm.
Just capping it there.
Well, I
And
imagine the
eventually,
guildmaster isn't one of the monks. I imagine the guildmaster is genuinely a mythical creature. I think this is one of the guilds where like the guildmaster is genuinely like a creature. Like with the military guild, like it makes sense that like you might go all the way up and then you'll find like a mortal who is leading the military guild and then like like the spiritual side of it which is probably like an angel of some sort or something like that. I don't know. um I don't know, but then you have like the I find it interesting that some guilds still have their original guild master and some don't. Like that's kind of interesting.
I would think that the master of this guild is a Shikigami.
A Shikigami, you say?
Yes.
I mean, I find that fun. The god of the merchant guild is the god of death, the dead, and the god of the assassins guild is the god of the dead, death. Oh, that would be interesting.
More so, the Japanese interpretation of a Reaper.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um,
What if
and
he is the last Shikigami?
that is an interesting proposition. Um,
I mean, I feel like that does limit us, and that throws Shikigami as like
Something we can't use.
a yeah, and like that may be a little bit of like a limiting factor. And because all the other guilds like
But I thought
they
that would be
hmm,
I thought that would be fun, given that
I find it
previously
fun.
I thought that would be fun, given that previously um, we kind of threw around the ball on that the god of the assassins or the guardians of the turning wheel, the god of
Yes.
that guild is the god of justice, who judges the dead.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember tossing that ball around.
Yeah, I remember tossing that ball around. I definitely do see the god of this guild as like a very lawful guild, and I definitely see this guild as like we only really get involved when we have to. Other than that, like we just do what missions are in the grand scheme that like the spirits that guide our guild say to do. Like we're not really like you don't get it, homie. Like
It is.
God
It is.
told me to come here and teach you this lesson. He said, "Go forth and run those hands." And I said, "Yes, my lord." And so, you need to come here and I'm gonna run those hands. Oh my gosh,
God,
I want to
God
make now
said, "Run the ones."
I want to make an MMA fighter that is from this guild, and the whole reason he joined the guild was a monk said, "My son, the Lord says that he wishes for you to teach others." And my character went, "What?" And he said, "Yes, your powerful fists, your strong biceps, and rippling torso. It is definitely a blessing that you must teach others." And this was after he saw this character like box a bison, by the way. Um, I
So the
want to
monk
make
is
this
just
as
dead.
the monk is just like, this is a sign from God. I was, I was asking for an apprentice. I was, and this rippling specimen has just dropped himself before me. And what am I to say no if God says teach the gay man to throw hands? I'm pretty sure he's gay. Someone does not have thighs and an ass like that and speak with that kind of religious authority and not have some form of repressed something. That's a joke. I don't know why I made this priest projecting his homophobia. I don't know why I made the assassin a priest. There are so many layers here.
I mean, technically, I guess with the religious aspect of it, the monkdom I
True.
mean, technically, I guess all assassins can be priests.
Oh God,
Maybe
I want
that's
to.
like level. Maybe that's like level 4.
I want to go to church.
Take me to church. I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your life. I'll tell you my
Mm.
sins. You can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. You good God, let me give you my life. Take
So,
me to church.
what is the bonus for rank one?
Rank 1,
Yes.
um, you gain access to a hubmaster contact point.
Oh, so like the whole like okay, so that is like okay, you get an extra contact. So this character is always going to have more context than other characters if you just follow like the static progression.
Right.
Um then you have the rare item that makes sense. As a hub master, you're having to go into a lot of dangerous areas to secure like contact with lower informants. That makes full sense. Um I imagine at rank 5 you are like the oh, excuse me. You are the leader of like a few monasteries, and maybe at rank 5, like how some other guilds are, it's like you gain the ability to transform or whatever. Maybe rank 5 in this guild is you gain the form of a Shikigami.
Are we doing as you rise, you gain supernatural abilities, or are we just doing um as you rise, you gain more and more social power?
Um, I mean, we don't have to give them the Shikigami form. I just thought it was a really cool thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, you could have like a special role where it's like duty doesn't end in death, and the prerequisite is you died in service to the guild, and then and then your god went, "I'm not finished with you," and turned you into one of his,
Voice mod
and
gives
went,
you
"Go forth and
overall
spread my word," and you're like, "Fuck."
and unlimited soundboards.
Are you ready to take?
That'd be funny as heck. I don't know. I'm just trying to throw some stuff around. Like, what are we going for as the theme here? Because I see it. It's like you become kind of a more efficient assassin as you go up. I mean,
You also become, but you also become more and more integrated with the main mission of contain these creatures. So as you go up, you gain the better ability to kill people, and yet here you are stuck behind a desk.
I really find that funny. It's like, yes, the guild that by all means should have DPS as its main things. Why is it all social interaction? Well, the best way to set up a ton of DPS is through social interaction. That's the whole reason assassins are used in the first place.
Listen, why use a knife when a cliff will do?
Why use a
Exactly.
knife when a
I didn't
cliff will
murder him.
do?
Gravity did.
Why
I
use a
feel like
knife when
that's
a.
a,
Mm,
I feel like that's a
mhm.
quote from like one of the family heads or something.
Probably. Like I'm not gonna lie, like there's probably like I would imagine rank 4 is when you're a leader of like a monastery, and rank 5 is likely when you're the leader of like you're finally the leader of a minor faction. And that's the strange
I
thing. I feel like this is one of the few factions where you will never actually get like major sway in this faction because it's just so vast. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like your name definitely travels. Like you definitely will have been heard throughout the guild. You know what I mean? But it's like I feel like it's so disconnected, you know what I mean, in this guild. I feel like there's so much, it's so compartmentalized, you know what I mean, that becoming the leader of like that branch that is those monasteries, because like a monastery is like minor faction, a group of monasteries that follows a specific way, I would assume is like what a major faction would be in this. So like yes, technically speaking it's major faction, but I feel like there's multiple major factions in this guild.
So when you say monastery, I hope you know you're
Mm-hmm.
actually talking about a family.
Go on.
Because these are not just so minor fact like minor faction. Um, this is one of the only guilds where minor faction leadership is hereditary, as
Okay.
in it gets passed down from uh, primogeniture.
Right, right.
However, to rise within a major faction is a completely different system. And just because you're someone's son in the minor faction doesn't mean shit at major levels.
Yeah. I also assume like you could get up to rank 4 and like someone in the big leagues could look at you and go, "Hey, I understand but your talents are getting wasted being someone's subordinate. You're going to be given your own family. Congratulations, you get to start your own minor faction, kiddo."
Well, rank 4 is where you would either start your own faction or have ended up just killing your dad.
Yeah, basically. Maybe this job is like kept to where it's like, oh, you can stab each other in the back because the god of this guild is like. I understand that there's a lot of great people in this guild. I also understand that this is the line of work where evil people do get rewarded. So I'm just gonna make
Even
something that
Marimo.
over time likely will weed out, like will make sure that evil people don't stay in power too long in my guild. And I feel like that's like the god's answer for evil people. Oddly enough, it's I'll make it to where someone can kill that evil person. And I trust that the members of my guild will eventually prevail, and that someone who is trying to corrupt my beautiful monasteries will be taken out eventually.
Yeah, because once you get past if you were to go into the major leagues, um, and you are evil, someone is gonna look at you and go, "No, get that guy out of here."
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like it's very much so like you gotta hide it in this guild because this guild is very much so like, hey yo, we gotta do it. That don't mean that we like to do it.
At
You
the
know what I'm
upper
saying?
levels, that is at the upper levels for most major factions, that's true.
Yeah.
Some major factions kind of look at it like, no, we absolutely like doing this. Please, give us more murder.
Yeah, exactly. And for those, it's like, oh, you are encouraged to bring back heads, not solve it through such. I imagine like the way factions prefer to do things is like what varies on minor faction. The why a faction might do things, or like their primary goal is like major faction. You know what I mean? Because like I imagine there's like a big picture, and every major faction has their picture they're supposed to do, and then like the minor factions, well, they have like their pieces of the picture they have to get together. You know what I mean? I imagine like the leader of the Assassin's Guild is just like plans and plans and plans, because the Assassin's Guild's whole thing is we need to make sure that the wheel keeps spinning. So every now and then we
Samsung
need to
Beyond
make sure
Boundaries covers 99.
that this or that happens. And I know your little human brains can't understand that that guy dying right there will cause a global catastrophe that will destabilize in 10 years the military guild 100 leagues away. But I need you to know that guy, he's kind of sus, and you should stab him in the back. Okay, bye.
Today in Minecraft.
And then God just fucks off. Oh. I just find it funny because it's like, oh yeah, if there's a god that like is capable of doing like 55D chess, you really don't need to know why that guy needs to die, do you? I imagine it's very freeing for some members of this guild where it's like, hey yo, I am freed from the it's kind of like the Alpha Legion almost. It's like I am freed from the need to choose. Like I am freed of guilt because like I'm just a tool being used for this for this grand scheme. You know what I mean? So I imagine for some members of the guild there's almost this psychological like release from guilt. What do you think? Hello?
Hello.
Scar's not talking.
Scar? Uriel? Hello?
Uriel!
Un momento, por favor.
Okay, he's alive.
They're alive! Alive!
Okay. I have 3 of the ranks done. I just need 4 and 5. 4 is going to be a minor faction head. 5 is going to be the lowest rank possible of a major faction. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, basically. Because that's like where you would end up like getting, because that really is like at the point where the mortal organization for this guild kind of ends. You know what I mean?
If you
Like after that point you're probably not going to be an NPC anymore. Because the stuff you're doing is just going to be way too boring for you to want to play. You know what I mean? Because you're not assassinating anymore. You're just behind a desk.
You're probably just watching something swim in a tank.
Yeah, you are like... If you are a human who got up to that point, that is the point where congratulations, you are either staying at that rank or you are being told, would you like to become one of the spirits of the guild. And at that point,
You have a
why?
choice to make.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's like at that point, if you take that promotion, you're not going to be a PC anymore. I feel like, um, because I feel like after that, it's like, well, you're not going to have the kind of independence that a player character would have. You know, you're too involved in things to ever have like any reprieve out of it. Which I feel like is the point where a character should become an NPC. You know what I mean? I don't know. What is your opinion on when a PC should become an NPC? Drop it in the chat. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Personally, I think it should be a matter of choice if a person wants to continue doing that. And, like, there can be interesting things that happen at those higher levels.
Oh, definitely. Um, I
But,
just think
like,
it. Mhm.
if you want to do those higher levels of the major factions and even into the main faction, good luck, you're on your fucking own.
Yeah, basically. Um, I mean, I can honestly see because like the Assassin's Guild doesn't seem like it has too many members. I could like see like, oh, a monastery is a minor faction and like a major faction is a group of monasteries. Like I can 100% see that. But it's one of
So,
the few of those where I feel like the guild master is an entity, and I feel like you know you're not really getting past leading a group of monasteries because well the guild master is an immortal entity, and he knows every trick that you could possibly know to assassinate him.
if you if you were to look at like Edo period samurai families,
Mhm.
each minor faction is a samurai family,
A clan, if you will,
a
but we'll call
clan,
it family.
right? A major faction would be a daimyo. The head of a major faction would be a daimyo.
Hmm.
The head of the entire structure would be the shogunate.
Hmm.
Good fucking luck getting to the shogun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yo, dude, you are a major faction rebelling, my guy. Um, how do you know you rising to this point and leading this rebellion wasn't that the guildmaster's plan to just gut your part of the faction and have an excuse to? You realize he doesn't even need an excuse now. You just gave it to him. Good idea. Because I really hate to pull the he's just that smart. This was part of his plan all along. But he is an immortal entity that has been playing assassin with godlike beings since likely he was a young entity. I don't think he's going to fall for tricks of like a level 18 rogue.
Should I do a funny? Should I
What's
do
the
a
funny?
funny and just put the highest possible rank in this entire organization? The title just be scribe.
Oh, I like that because like he keeps the god of death's like ledger of the dead.
Nope.
So like, no.
The highest that I'm going to.
Okay.
The lowest. So the highest that I'm going to is the lowest possible on the major faction. If you
Mhm.
want more ranks, I can make more ranks. I'm not going to right now.
Well, the thing is, like, number 5 would be like, oh, you are the head of multiple monasteries, and then the rank right above that is, as you were saying, like shogun, which would be like the guild leader. But if you're a person that you became the head of like a major faction, which is where the next step above number 4 would be, um,
Are
then
you sure about that? Because that
I
is not
mean,
how I've written this.
okay, okay. I'm listening. Like major factions in this guild, by the way, like major factions in the different guilds are kind of like a little bit different of things. I'm just kind of trying to figure out like how we're gonna do it in this guild because I was like, oh well, like so okay. How do you imagine the organization of like the ranks when there's a guild territory? Because like usually how I
Realistically, you are only going to stay within your family.
right, right.
If you make it up to the major guild or the major faction, you are probably getting a desk job.
Yes.
And that is where you will spend the rest of your natural life.
Yes.
And then, once your natural life is up, congratulations, you're getting Orzogged. And then you can move up the ranks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you get to that rank 5, it's like, as far as any mortal is concerned, that is a major faction of the Assassin's Guild. Technically speaking, just like the military guild, the faction goes further than that. But this is the faction where you will genuinely feel like you are just becoming a more important grunt the entire way through.
uh,
um
it's like level 4, you're at the peak of your fame and glory. And then all of a sudden, you get invited to the big leagues. You get invited to join a major faction. And then you get a desk and a calligraphy brush. And given the title
so
of scribe.
so basically a major faction in from what I so minor faction is like a faction within a major faction. So you have these multiple families, right? And they are all within a major faction that are to whoever the like monk, like the head monk of that major faction is. And that is kind of the person that directs that major faction and their moves and interprets the will of the spirits and such fully. And so that is like mortally speaking, yes. But I 100% like the idea of a powerful spirit of this guild looking at the guild master and still like going like, "Oh, you young child. I remember when I was that young." Or like, well, not like guild master because you know guild master, but like this organizer of a major faction going like, "You young child, you knave little thing. Do you know not of the years of my soul?" Like, I love that the idea of this guild is not, oh, you get immortality. No, 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 no. You get immortality in service. Which is like, sure, you will always be brought back. You know what I mean? Like you will always be brought back after a certain point. You know what I mean? Like like Shikigami, your soul will be reformed by your deity. And it's like, well, I imagine like Shikigami in this realm can kind of like hide amongst humans almost. So and I imagine like, it's like, oh, well, what's your paradise? Oh, you get to hide amongst the humans and like use the guild's not inconsiderable funds to just, you kind of get, I imagine this is the point where like, oh, what was it all for? You finally get to relax. You know what I mean? You finally get to like have those apples, feel that sun on your face and so on, and just like, you know, have your moment of rest. But I also realize like that doesn't have to be it. I was just like, oh, well, that's a fun little idea. Like, make this guild like a really like, oh, you have to work and work and work. But like, when you become a spirit of this guild, unless called upon, you really do get a rest. And I feel like it's like, oh, well, that's a
I
very
think
big like.
that would be something, um, like, unless you're, say, like a 300-year-old spirit, you're
Mhm.
really not going to see much rest.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I'm talking about when you finally find your person that gets to be your replacement for active duty. You know what I mean? Like that's why the Shikigami are also like so dead set on training people. You know what I mean? I feel like that's like part of the reason that like um the assassins training is so rigorous. It's like, dude, I want my replacement, man. I want my off time. Just come on, come on. I have been training this family for 300 years. Give me my replacement already. And I imagine it's like the assassin that's leading the family is like potion of youth, potion of youth, potion of youth. I do not want to die and be grandpa's replacement. No, thank you. I imagine like one of the ways to like cheat the system is like, well, if you die in combat, you do get to move on to peace. And so
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, sure.
well,
Yeah, sure.
like,
Grandpa over there died in combat in the Battle of Beijing in 1942. He's still around.
fucking hell. Tank, are you still there? Tank?
Yeah, I'm
Tank?
still here.
Oh, okay, you've not said anything for a while. Like, what are you thinking over there?
Well, this isn't my brainchild. It does sound good, It's like, oh yes, you've been doing this for a long time. Come on, give me a fucking replacement already, god damn it. I've been at this for 300 fucking years. Come on, assholes. What have you been good enough?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, well, how do you get your replacement? You raised a mortal that was strong enough to beat you.
It's like, finally. Now I can retire.
And then and they were marked for your replacement. So I imagine there's like a special role which is called marked for promotion. And so that is a special role where it is you have been marked as a Shikigami's prospective replacement. And so if you have this special role at the end of your campaign, you and your DM must talk and then discuss how the duel between you and your Shikigami that marked you as their replacement happens. And if you win, you become their replacement, but you are compelled to attempt your best to assassinate them. Like, you are compelled. So it's not like you can just make like a, oh, I tried. Which I find is really funny, because I imagine it's like, oh, you're a character that's like, oh, I didn't die in combat, I didn't die on a guild mission. There's no reason for them to try to claim me now.
Why am I fucking back here?
And then you wake up on a bridge surrounded by smoke, and you hear the I don't remember what the that one instrument where you use like the claw like stuff, or like the paddle to like shamisen, like you hear like the dun 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 dun, as like you see the Shikigami at the other end looking at you. I told you I marked you as my replacement. And then you feel your body begin to draw its blade. Not of your own volition.
Yes, for the young, the mark is a good thing. For the elderly, they know it's a curse.
Yeah, because like when you're young, it's like, oh, someone might come around that's better than me. And I imagine this is seen as a great honor. But it's also one of those things where it's like, oh, I pity the person who is skilled enough to be chosen to bear that burden. Because it's like, at that point, like, if an adult dragon goes to attack the monastery, you're the thing that has to fight that.
And you'll probably win, but have considerable injuries.
Yeah, because it's like, well, if you're a Shikigami defending a monastery, you probably have, like, some form of something to back you up. But it's like, you're gonna, it's like, it is not fun. Because it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm on, like, advising research duty and keeping the library clean duty, and, like, causing tragic backstories so that someone falls into the Batman parallel and gets into the guild. But other than that, my day's pretty boring.
I just have to make these orphans. Gotta meet that orphan quota.
I love the idea that like a Shikigami has an orphan quota, and it's like, oh, well, what's the orphan quota? It's like, oh, well, that's the number of like corrupt politicians that had to die today, or like something like that. I don't know. But like I really I like the idea that high ranking members of this guild, what they do to like balance it out is they'll kill a good and evil person. Like, you really could have a guild, or like a minor faction in this guild, or like a serial killer from this guild, who his whole thing is that he or she um always kills an equally good and equally evil person at the same time. So the scales remain balanced.
Tank over in the corner. Pansy.
Okay, so since you volunteered, we've talked about the Assassin's Guild for a good bit, and I really like this. Do you have any more to say about the Assassin's Guild, or do we have anything to say like in the methods or creatures you may see this guild using? What is the kind of character that you would make if you were wanting to play a character in this guild? Like, what are some things you guys could see?
The ranks are done.
Nice.
Yep, I can see a fighter being this, a monk being in this, an artificer
Monks,
being in
clerics,
this too.
paladins, rogues. Monks, clerics, paladins, rogues.
Artificers?
Artificers, warlocks,
Really, anything could be in this
pretty
guild.
much
So,
Yeah.
anything could be in this guild.
I mean,
Um,
well, eh, there's a few things that I would be like, maybe, maybe not. But like, I feel
you
like
could
this
even
guild.
make an argument for druid.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
would
gonna
make.
forget that rangers exist.
I Ranger was actually my original primary, by the way.
I'm gonna forget that rangers exist.
Rangers got screwed over. In my opinion, Ranger as a class just got screwed over.
You can take that up with Watsy.
I will in the afterlife.
Yeah.
But tank explain
Anyway,
that
If you,
process.
by the way, none of us are suicidal.
No.
nope, none of us are. Some of us just dislike greedy corporations.
Yes.
Um, so anyway,
Yes. Luigi is innocent. I was hanging out with him that day.
if you have stayed with us this long, feel free to drop us a follow or sauce us an interaction. This is Home Hearth Beyond, where we care about you and you are our beloved Hearthlings. So, Tank,
Yes.
wait, real quick. Is there anything else we should throw on to this footage of the Assassin's Guild, or any other like stuff of it that explains it? Like, is there anything you guys think we missed?
What about the creatures? We didn't talk about them.
The creatures. The Assassin's Guild here, I see as oftentimes they will either release trained like horrors, like mind control collars on them and such, like usually like very, very, like fear tactics, or you will end up with a creature that was planted there, or
Ooh, what about birds with those mind control collars where you could see through their eyes and use them as like drones?
that's interesting. I just thought of an archetype of character where it's like, okay, that makes sense that they would have someone that would learn to be in tandem with nature. Who knows? Maybe there's like a major faction of this guild, and like each major faction like specializes in a particular class. I don't know. Maybe
Do
not.
you want me to make the major factions?
No, no. I think we can really just stick with the minor factions for right now. Or and like if someone like makes one, it's like, oh well, I am a part of like this monastery order. You know what I mean? Or this order of families or so on. I don't know. But we can talk about that later. But like I see this family using like this group using a lot of different things. So it's like, oh well, yeah, you definitely are running into like thugs. You know what I mean? Like thugs are an NPC that could be used. Assassins, obviously. Um, you probably have like creatures from other guilds that are due to like this guild enacting a favor. I don't know what else. What else can you think of?
These people are definitely. If you can think of a guild, they probably owe the Assassin's Guild for something. And even if they don't, They'll make something up.
They probably owe someone something. I imagine
Yep,
like debts with the
they'll figure
Assassin's
it
Guild are
out.
usually like on a family basis or so on. But yeah, it's like, oh, I so it's like a superior could go like, oh, I need you to use your favor to I need you to make this happen. Well, it's like, oh, okay, well, I have a contact in this and so on, and it's like, okay.
You owe me a favor, so I need you to use your favor to do this favor, to do that favor, and so on and so forth.
Exactly. Like it is a convoluted, long laundry list of an ask where it's like if you shoot the person asking you for that favor, you're probably still 30 steps removed from the person who originally asked for that favor to be asked. It's like, well, I know a guy who knows a guy.
But it's more like I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and the thing is, they know. They know exactly who knows what.
I imagine like re- releasing 30 will-o-wisps onto someone's estate because they were next to a bog. Um, I imagine that's not really like something that the Assassin's Guild wouldn't do because it's like, oh, well, planted creatures makes complete sense. Oh, he died to will-o-wisps. Well, no one can prove that that monster wasn't in that swamp before, teehee.
There's never been a will
You know,
wisp in that swamp before. Maybe it just moved in.
or maybe like a small child could have died a day ago, and the maybe a school bus of oh no, don't finish that thought, Iso.
Maybe a school bus crashed.
Ah. So
I will fuck up everything.
one thing that I've been waiting to use a particular a wombo combo on people for a while, and this Assassin's Guild gives me the perfect reason. If I
What?
wanted to make it an Assassin's Guild thing, but honestly, it could happen just in the wild because of how these two monsters are. Oh, it's a wombo combo of a monster group being. I
Can
call
you
it Sol.
not
I call it Soul and Grow.
soul and grow?
Yep.
Is it a poltergeist?
You're really wondering, are you scared? Are you worried, Uriel?
No, now I'm just curious.
Oh, now you're curious? Tank
Yes.
says not the children. Exactly, Tank, not the children.
Murder the children.
That's the part about being a DM that my ex-wife made me hate. Yes, I do have an ex-wife. Yes, I have had a wife before, and now I have a husband. Yes, I am a woman. I am also sometimes a boy. It all depends. Am I a boy? Am I a girl? Nobody knows, but right now, I'm your problem.
Yes.
Anyway,
While Uriel is most definitely male, uh, Starlet is whatever the fuck is funniest.
Tank
I feel that.
has murder in his pants.
Oh gosh, talk about penetration.
Yes.
What kind of creatures can be found in the Merchant Guild? Prostitutes. Support your local sex workers, kids.
Hire a
Wait,
hooker.
no. Wait, no,
No.
don't hire a hooker. Don't hire a hooker.
Oh, what? You want them out of jobs?
No, okay, I want you to know you have walked me into a corner with that statement.
I know I did.
They have to feed their children somehow, Eso.
Yeah.
We cannot, if we want to stay monetized,
Okay, move
tell
away from the
people
topic.
to do an illegal thing. Exactly. Which is why I was like, no.
Okay,
For
erotic
legal
dancer.
Okay, there we
for
go. There we
legal
go.
purposes.
Remember, people. If you go to the strip club, tip the dancer. She doesn't get paid enough for what she's doing.
For legal purposes, these are jokes.
Yes, and for legal purposes, editor on YouTube, remove the stuff that's gonna get us canceled. Note, editor,
Editor.
put a comment that if someone wants to see the completely uncensored version of this, that they can go to our Patreon when we get it set up.
The editor just removes the entire video.
We just actually managed to get a video to where we basically did a full guild. Do you want to do the thing right now where you tell like the proficiencies and stuff? So you real quick before we exit off of this guild for right now, Uriel, would you mind telling us what we have so far as the actual mechanical background for this guild right now?
Alrighty. Give me one moment. Skill proficiency, deception and medicine. Tool proficiency, disguise kit. Language, pick one of your choice. Equipment, 3 small daggers, 1 small hidden GTW insignia, a set of dark-colored common clothes, and the equipment of your secondary starting guild. Feature, mistaken guise. You have another identity you primarily assume. This identity is always a part of another guild. Documentation, known associate, and costumes within this guild allow you to seamlessly blend into the masses of the guild. At any time, you could drop that guise and blend into the common folk. This is your chance for sabotage and subterfuge. Discuss with your DM about the guild you'd like to embed yourself inside and why. Guild ability, skeletons in the closet. Each guild member can cast Alter Self once per day, only being able to use the change appearance option. This effect can only be used to mimic someone you have seen in the past 24 hours. This can be mitigated by performing a ritual using a body part of a person that you have recently killed. That person is permanently added to your catalog of people you can assume the identity of. Add 1 hour to the duration of the spell for each level of your character, -1. 0 renown. Agent Spoke class. Gain access to a Hubmaster access point. 3 renown or more. Hubmaster. Gain a rare magic item of your choice as you gain a useful higher up artifact from a higher up. 10 renown or more, prosecutor. Gain access to the turning libraries. There's a library. There's a library in every city on every world. It contains a copy of every book the guild has access to. 25 renown or more. Family head. Gain a calling scroll. Summon 1d4 assassins once per day. Scribe. 50 renown or more. Scribe. Gain a special mission assigned by the guildmaster themselves.
Okay. So, that is what we have for that so far. We do, something I think we could talk about is we do need to talk about lifestyle. This doesn't really seem like a guild where you're going to be rich at any point, really.
I feel like, for the most part, you can either assume the lifestyle of your secondary guild, as long as you are a part of it, or you can assume a what is it called? What are the lifestyles?
Poor, modest, comfortable, rich, luxurious.
A modest lifestyle, and it goes up a lifestyle every 2 ranks.
So modest, comfortable, rich. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I imagine, like, sure, a family could be rich, but, like, not every assassin family is rich.
Right.
So you wanna be a hero, kid? Well, whoop-de-doo. Anyway, so I think that is pretty good for the Guardians of the what did you say the name was again?
Turning wheel.
Guardians of the Turn Wheel. So you heard it there, folks. That is what it is for Guardians of the Turning Wheel. In this guild, uh, you might find a little bit of anything trying to kill you. Honestly, they're a very versatile assassins guild, where most of the time the things that are at their disposal are either things that are horrors from the shadows, or things that could be made, or gotten from another guild. So the creatures are honestly honestly, the sky is the limit with like encounters or like it could range anywhere from a serious assassin movie to a Looney Tunes skit. I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. So that was the Guardians of the Wheel. Thank you so much for showing up to our first uh, D&D video. You're probably going to see this at the start and at the beginning of the chat. I'm Isidore the Changeling. This is Tank and Scarlet, the two that joined me for this chat for this video. Say
Hello,
hi,
hello.
guys.
As always, it's been a pleasure having you with us today.
And
Will be a
unfortunately, I wasn't able to murder anyone for you.
Yes, will be and has been. Um, because the wonderful editors are going to put this at the start and the end of this video. We're going to see how it comes out, and hopefully we can use this as a springboard to improve our D&D stuff down the line. Well, um, see you later, Hearthlings, in this video in the future.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
All right, we are clear to start talking about literally anything else. I just wanted to keep it on the Assassin's Guild, and I was like, oh wow, we genuinely did this all. We might actually be able to make a video out of this.
Good. That's why I wasn't
Oh,
talking too
thank
much.
God.
So
Okay.
it's like I'm not too in the know about it, so that's why I was kind of quiet.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Good.
I appreciate that. This is what I needed. Because this is what like I've been trying to do for the past week, and every single time it was getting like drug away from doing this task.
Yes. Also,
I feel so much better now that one's done.
yes. By the way, can you look at tank persona ideas? Because apparently, Rishi got the idea at some point that I wanted tank to have a metal arm or like a mechanical arm, and it's like I didn't mention that, did I? Or anything like that?
I think BB understood that you mentioned cybernetics, and it's like, oh, Tank's a robot, and I was like, no, 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 don't say cyborg, because I know what people will think. This is one of the people that I was like, okay, I know what they'll think when they hear cyborg.
But we could keep it, and this could be like tank, like the oldest tank. You know what I mean?
Okay, it's like this is like the leader of the tanks that is showing, like,
Yes.
you know, and it's like, oh, well, you know, why is that model like the one that's primarily around ESO? Well, that's the oldest tank. You know, any tank that makes it to that age has earned the right to die by the company leader.
And
Oh my
Uriel
gosh.
is just here for shits and giggles, really. He could have retired.
I find it funny. But so okay, so I would like to do a video that is making a like region of Phalos. I would like to record that video.
Okay.
And I would like to
Tomorrow?
go like I mean, it's a video that we could honestly do like right now because I would like to like walk you guys through my thought processes and like explaining um it, but also like by then we'll probably have the names for a lot of these guilds. So there is that.
You're right, because I'm probably. Alright, so tomorrow, ESO, when are you waking up?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll probably be on like around 2 p.m. Like that's when like I can guarantee like, oh yeah, I'll definitely be like chatting or something. I'll probably be on before then. Um
Yep. I work.
when do I go to work tomorrow? Right. Um
Yeah, I work 2 to 11.
well, I was right. Um what I was thinking was like I could just walk you guys like through that, like how I go about like making regions and such. Because with the guilds and such, I want to genuinely go like guild to guild and actually like we do get to like make something here because I've worked on the military guild. I have like the first like rank or such, like in creative lore building, but like no one responded to me about it because I wasn't sure like how much we were going to put in there.
Oh yes, and I had an idea for the merchant guild name,
Oh, I'm listening.
Grand Union.
Ooh, I work 6 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. tomorrow. I can definitely uh
Yeah,
Grand Union.
yes. This is specifically playing off the idea of unions. Like, they are trying to cultivate that goodwill with them as well.
What about
It's like, I'm about to change. That's just the idea I had.
Grand Union United?
It's a good name, but something's tickling the back of my brain about Union United. It's like oxymoroning each other or something like that.
Okay, okay. Uh
I might not be using the right word, but it's like there's something about those two words being used together that's saying my brain's saying something's off there. You know what I mean? I think it's because we're trying to put. If you put too much like of the same thing in a name, you know what I mean?
Global Unions Incorporated?
Is incorporated a thing in this universe?
Okay, good point. Good point. Good point.
What about just the Grand Merchants Union?
GMU. GMU. Grand Union of Merchants. GUM. The acronym could be GUM.
Yeah, but would these guys really associate themselves with something like that?
I
True,
just had
true.
the most hilarious idea for a phrase within Phalos, if that was the case.
What's that?
Don't
We
step on gum, it'll stick to your shoe. As in, like, don't cross the merchant union.
it
They'll come,
it will
it'll
follow
follow
you
you.
everywhere.
It'll follow you everywhere.
Now I kind of want to make it just for jokes like that.
Well, it's also like that's the funny thing about gum. Once it gets in you, it never really gets out. Don't take their loans.
What do you say, Grand Union Merchants?
Grand Union
Uh
of Merchants.
yeah, Grand Union of Merchants, and then we just remove the O.
Yep, let's go with that.
Okay.
I like that.
I have work at 4:30 to midnight tomorrow.
I work 6 to 10:30 tomorrow. So, um, what I was thinking is I'm thinking of just kind of recording a video where I make a demi plane, or I basically like build the demi plane where this stuff is going to take place in, because I plan on the first like part of the campaign being your journey to, and then you're questing within this demi plane.
All right, yeah.
Um, because it's basically just this whole storyline. Because it's like, well, once you get there, it's like, oh, well, I have some stuff to do in the meantime. Um, and it's like, oh, well, you guys decided to get the ship to here anyway because, well, you know, you needed to deliver some stuff. Oh, well, you're a group of adventurers, and you'll see. Um, but basically, I was thinking like you all were kind of hired to do something, like you were hired by the lawbringers to kind of like guard a merchant that's bringing them some, like, steeds and such, because someone recently poisoned the stables of a lawbringer city. So the king's most prized war horses, uh, a large portion of them got poisoned. And so now that lawbringers, like, military is kind of crippled for right now as far as like operating outside of their borders, because they can't really risk to lose anything. So they're kind of like on the back foot, and they really need like this shipment, and it was what could be mustered short term, sure. Um but like how many you lose of the shipment is going to affect things down the line. But yeah, so basically you guys are like guarding a shipment.
Yes. And yes, not the children. I agree with that, Canadian.
Exactly, not the children. But yeah, like it's that sort of thing where, okay, so one thing that I was wanting to run you guys through is like, oh, you can really make any setting in this setting. Like any kind of campaign you want to run in this setting, you can run. So let me kind of run something past you guys. You know Piltover and Zon from Arcane, right?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make Piltover and Zon, or at least the Phalos version of that, right now.
Yes, I know Piltover and Zon intimately.
Okay, wonderful. So, how you would make Piltover and Zon in this is, originally it started with all of these guilds kind of staking claims to the different, really, regions of this area, right? And they had to work well together. They had to work together, right? And so you have the Lawbringers and the Merchants Guild and the Progressors, and those are the factions that make Piltover. And then you have the Biologist Guild. You have the Military Guild, oddly enough. And you have the Military Guild, Biologist Guild. And I would argue another minor faction of the Merchants Guild. Honestly. Or something else. Some other X Factor guild can be thrown into Zon. But like the biologist would represent the Chem Barons, because the biologist can make chemicals too. Then you have the Military Guild, which represents the hopeful youths that are in the Firefly Gang. I'm not going to include them as Path of the Elemental followers of the Elemental Lords Guild, because they use tech in the Fireflies. Followers of the Elemental Lords usually don't.
Oh, by the way, Claims Pact has gave us a couple messages here. He has no idea what a good or a bad item would be. Like, how does a pack hunter's longbow sound? +1, it's a
Oh,
+1
okay.
bow. User gets to take shots with advantage if an ally is within 5 feet of the target. The downside, if they miss, the arrow hits the ally.
Okay. So Pack Hunter's longbow sound +1 longbow. The user gets to take shots with advantage if an ally is within 5 feet of the target. Downside, if you still miss, the arrow hit an ally. Yeah, honestly,
So
that sounds fairly.
I was barely paying attention, and I heard shot, and I misinterpreted that.
Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, uh, uh,
I thought we were talking about alcohol.
Kames, that sounds really fun, but might I interest you in a possible have you already given this item to someone? Because Kames, I know you brought this to us, but would you care if I kind of made a item that you could possibly throw to your players? Or like a little homebrew item real quick? Cuz that actually gave me the name of that gave me a little inspiration.
Not all. Variety is fun.
Wonderful. So the inspiration that kicked into my head when I heard the pack hunter's bow is you're always in a pack or you're always hunting a pack. So my idea was the pack hunter's bow. If you land a critical roll, a nat 20 on the roll, your arrow turns into a wolf that then attacks the enemy. But if you land a nat 1 on firing with your bow, your arrow then becomes a wolf that turns to attack you.
That seems right. How long will this wolf last? Just one round, or
I was going to go with 1d4 rounds.
okay? Or an idea is that if you nat 20 with it, your allies get an advantage to hit, or your pack. You know what I mean?
Or that. Like, with a nat 20, your allies get advantage to hit. Um, with a nat 1, you kind of, with a miss, like, if you hit, your allies get advantage. If you miss, you hit the person. But an upgrade to, like, the pack hunter's bow is, well, like, okay, well, it could be one of those items where it levels up as you go. And so over time, it's like, well, maybe as you earn the respect of the spirit of the wolf pack within this oh yeah, 100%, give it to the halfling that never have to accept a nat 1.
Yeah.
We used to have one of those in the campaign at one point. Oh, they were little shit. So one of the ideas as like an upgrade is like, oh, when you finally gain the respect of this bow, where it's no longer like testing you and has like a jumpy temper with it. Finally, you gain the ability to at you know I imagine with its respect in you, it has 2 levels of respect. And it's the first time when it actually allows itself to attune to you, and you gain the ability to summon a direwolf once per long rest. Then, once you have truly bonded with the pack within this bow, it upgrades again, and you have 2 abilities. One is you can keep the pack within this bow, a pack of 5 direwolves summoned. If one of the direwolves dies, within 4 days, they will reform within the bow and can be resummoned. The other trait,
days.
yes, within 1d4 days. Also, you can use the ability of the bow and your bond with the pack to go to imbue a mark onto an enemy with one of your arrows. This trait being called Packmaster's Calling. And what Packmaster's Calling does is it imbues the Oathbow ability onto the attacks that land from this pack onto that creature. So you really feel like a pack master because your pack and you both get to feel powerful with this. Now I would imagine that the Oathbow feature does take longer to recharge because it's way more powerful than your average Oathbow, let's be honest. But also, like, an Oathbow is usually going to be in the hands of a fighter, so I will leave it up to whatever DM is deciding this, how long the Oathbow usually lasts, but I would give it probably a 2-day recharge. So it recharges like 2 days at dawn, or maybe for every creature that you allowed the mark to count for in the pack is another day that it takes for that bow to recharge. So if it was the full pack, then that is, the 4 direwolves, and then if you included yourself, that's 5, so it's 5 days to recharge. But that's 5 days to recharge for, at minimum, 5 chances of doing, like, I think it's 66 damage added on to whatever the bite is. So that's a pretty good chunk of damage for, like, 4 direwolves, and then what I'm assuming at that point is a ranger or a fighter or some form of martial. So it's pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Honestly, I think this bow would likely be most powerful in the hands of, like, a druid or like a ranger. Rangers don't get very many attacks. It's like, I feel like the
has no cooldown.
Oh, no, the Oathbow regains its charge at dawn, if I remember correctly.
I just looked it up, but
Oh, really? When does it recharge?
it doesn't.
Really?
Yes. You can mark an enemy, and the enemy you are targeting becomes your sworn enemy at either until it dies or until dawn 7 days later. You can only have one sworn enemy at a time. When your sworn enemy dies, you can choose a new one at the next dawn.
I'm looking at this because I'm not doubting you. It's just I got my rear end chewed by a DM once for getting this wrong.
Yep. So it's not a cooldown. It's just like, dawn the next day is when you can use it again.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking it's like you can recharge your Oathbow on a full moon. I imagine, like, the unique trait of, like, the Third Awakening is on a full moon. This trait is just active the entire night. Like, on a full moon, you're basically God. I'm not saying you are God, but God might be scared to confront you on a full moon.
Yep. And what about Canadian said, why not add the favored enemy on top of that?
Because what if, I mean, we could make it to where this bow has the prerequisite of you must be a ranger, and then we could make it to where it boosts the ranger's favorite enemy to where it basically, you know, I don't know. Um, I mean, it would be really cool if, like, oh, if you're a ranger, it gives you the favorite enemy on this creature. Like, oh, on a full moon, you get to pick who you hunt. You manifest in their area, and you get favorite enemy. They have now been marked for being hunted by your pack. And in the third awakening, your pack no longer counts as direwolves. They have the physical attributes of a werewolf in their direwolf form.
Yep. Kenny said, why not make that a minor bonus thing to encourage people to use Ranger with it?
I like the way you think. Instead of prerequisites, we can have it like, oh, the item doesn't unlock its full power unless I tank give that woman a prize or person. I like that idea. I like tank. oh, oh much. Oh my. When item designing, if we're designing an item and the thought is why don't we make it the prerequisite that it has to be this class, why don't we make it that to use its full ability you must be a part of this class. So it's like if you're not a ranger and you manage to bond with it, you get that first awakened state that I kind of talked about, right? But if you are a ranger and you bond with this item, like to where it genuinely awakens for you, past the first point, which would be like if you were a ranger, you could immediately attune, and it would like give you, you know, that dire wolf, you know, marking thing. I assume, or like it would be a lot easier for you to gain their trust and such. But like for this one where you need to be a ranger for it to awaken to this, um, it'd be really cool if it's like spirit dire wolves. You know what I mean?
Yes. And
Oh,
I have rewarded that chatter with VIP.
oh,
I have no idea what it does, but they're now a VIP.
nice. I have no clue what that does either. I'm about to switch headsets, so feel free to uh, chat. Go ahead and throw us another item prompt because I love just coming up with ideas. So we would love to throw you guys stuff just based on you giving us a prompt.
Well, at the very least, you get the diamond by your name, Canadian guy.
Check, check, 1, 2.
Hello, Iso. You are live on the air.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Has chat said anything?
Uh,
This is the second time like people have genuinely talked to us out of the chat today. I'm so excited.
Claims Pact has a long one. Playing around with human, and the fact that it cannot really see anything at night seems painful. It makes me wonder, how is it possible for a lantern how is it possible a lantern shield is not a basic item in the game? Closed, no light, bonus action half open, light 5 foot to the direction the shield is held. Dim light another 10 feet. Full open light 10 feet in a half circle. Dim light 20 feet. Only +1 to AC, but it deals 1d4 damage two attackers. Probably fire damage too, because since they're attacking a lantern.
Um, I'm sorry. You said that, and my brain jumbled for a moment.
All right, do you know what a lantern shield is? Like as a real world item.
It's one of those shields that basically had a slot where you would put a candle inside of, and it would help light the tunnel ahead of you.
Yes. This one seems to be a magical variant, although it could just be how they worded it. But it's like bonus action. It's like you half open it, you get light. This is mostly for humans or other creatures with no dark vision. You could open up. Yeah. Yeah. It's like.
Okay, I understand what they mean. You should be able to shield bash with it.
Yes. It damage to attackers. It's
No,
like.
I agree. That should be. I don't. Okay, so I do think that. Yeah, no. Okay, so do you want us to make a magic item out of that? Because I 100% can use that as a prompt for a magic item.
Yeah. I'd say let's just go ahead and do it.
I actually have an idea. Okay.
So, my dear sibling,
Magical
Mhm.
flamethrower.
I believe it is time for me to go to bed.
Okay. You have a wonderful night, Uriel. Me and Tank are about to record, hopefully, footage for a magic item video.
Yep. And
You
Good
have a
luck.
wonderful day.
and also they would just
Wonderful.
like a basic, real like a non-magical version of it to be represented. So like,
Oh, okay.
so let's like start with the base of it and then move on from there. We can make like magical variants.
Okay. Um,
See the base. I think they had.
so are we talking a round torch shield, a tower torch shield? Are we talking a Roman scutum? Um, there are different shields. In fact,
Lantern
how I ruled
shield.
this. Yes, let me Google that real quick.
Yeah, it's represented mostly as a. They were never really used in combat, but it's like a metal glove with a shield on it.
Okay. I know these. Right. So it is what I had in mind. Okay. Yeah, no, I got you. So it definitely does.
ESO, we
That is a short sword. No, I get you. So that is hmm,
If we're gonna use that as a shield, I would say, hmm. It's like I'm not a big fan of that sword in it, anyways, but I understand that why it's there. You know what I mean?
honestly, it's hybrid weapons have always been historically speaking. But there have been historical like methods of fighting with stuff like this, and historically taught too.
Yeah,
Um,
and apparently
but it's just never
the sword in it
common.
is removable as well. So
Okay.
yes, at least in some versions of the weapon. So you could have it as a
Idea.
yeah. I think they were never really used a lot, but yes, probably mostly in night duels.
Okay. All right. Um.
Yeah, I could see us having multiple forms of this shield as well. You do make a point claims.
Yeah, exactly. That's
For
what I was
case.
thinking. They would also get used in castle raids as well.
Yep. So
Uh,
I can
one of
see.
the uses of this kind of shield, I saw a shield that was made where the gauntlet was incorporated, and
Yep.
that is a lot of these shields. And I saw like there was a knife breaker on the hand of the gauntlet, and I was like, that's cool. That's not a very
Safe.
functional weapon. It is not a very functional weapon. The lantern shield, really. The lantern shield, in my opinion, there's just a lot of shields that I would prefer, but
So
I
real
understand why the lantern
boy.
shield had its
Good to see you
place.
again.
Hello, sorry boy. There is also is a version. Yeah, exactly. Punishing attackers. So I'm going to assume you're just talking about the normal lantern shield that lights a hallway. Um,
We could just put multiple forms of it in here as well. It's like you could choose one of
I mean,
these things to have with it.
honestly, it seems like to me what a basic lantern shield should be. Like I'm not trying to be lazy here. I really like how Kane's worded the mechanics
Yeah.
of it.
Kane,
However, one idea
yes.
that I had is was an idea that you could like blind a person for a moment by flashing light at a person whose eyes would be adapted to the dark. That is 100% something you could do, but I think that would vary on the DM. You could have an optional feature on these and then talk to your DM where it is the person needs to make a DC 12 Constitution save or be blinded for a turn. I feel like that is a fairly fair way to do that. A phone suddenly turning on in a dark hallway has made me flinch before. Like, I think I would be a little thrown off if like something that had the brightness of a phone screen turned on in front of my face.
So
Like, I'd be a little thrown off if it was a little fight.
I can see disadvantage or advantage being given on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I would give the enemy disadvantage on hitting you because I don't think it would be enough to where you would have advantage on necessarily hitting your enemy all the time. But I definitely see it giving the enemy disadvantage on hitting you if like your enemy didn't roll the con save.
I definitely would say it'd be a con save either way. Because, imagine like someone blinds you and then they swing. It's like, you go to shield your face and then they attack you. You know what I mean?
Very easy thing. Enemies with dark vision, because their eyes would be adjusted to their normal thing, and their like that darkness, they would be in their dark vision adapted state. I feel like they would definitely have a disadvantage against this check.
Yep. So it's like I could see it going either way. You know what I mean? Like if you activate it before they attack, and it's like their turn, like if you use like a reaction on this, it's like yes, when they attack, I want to lift the blinder on my thing so they get blinded. I'd say it'd be very conditional when you activate it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
An easy DC check to be blinded for a round seem fair. Yeah, I get that one. It's like human eyes are fairly quick to correct themselves. So I can see that. Dark vision, like you said, they'd be more susceptible. So maybe they needed, maybe they get an extra, like they have to pass 2 checks instead of 1. But that seems a little broken as well.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think a lantern shield should be given in starting equipment but I do think it should be something that should be reasonably like you can go to a blacksmith and go, hey, do you know how to make this? And they reasonably might know how to make it
Ooh,
if they're a good blacksmith.
ooh, that's a good idea,
Hmm?
Cold Spec. A cleric with this could cast a light on a thing inside to make the light effect better.
I would say you could genuinely flashbang the hallway with that shit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yes, that would affect everyone regardless. That would give it a decent DC check to recover. With this,
Here's the thing to think of. A lantern shield only goes one way and it's metal. It would reflect that light back out the front, all through the front, not top. Usually the light goes to up, down, sideways, behind, but now it's just full forward. That is a magnification. That is a flashbang.
fire in a hole.
You are getting tinnitus in your face if you do that.
Yet blinding light in 30 feet in front of you. And instead of giving them 2 checks, we could give creatures with a night vision that are used to it. They get disadvantage on the check.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all good.
Uh,
Dude, Rayo, I love Raya, but Raya was over here like, oh, we're gonna get less viewers if we start doing D&D all day.
it's like,
Most of the evening, we have had over 5 viewers. Raya, I love you. This is just use this as a balm for your anxiety. Love you, girly.
Yep. We've been managing anywhere from 3 to 5 really. So I'm happy. Let's see, armor delayed. Okay, Canadian armor delayed. Below this armor has.
Yeah, exactly. Holding it would not be be repaired with either a DC 20 Arcana check or use a smithy kit. Once the armor runs out of hit points, they take all 30 points of damage as psychic damage. That's a trap. That is an Assassin's Guild trap to assassinate a blacksmith. Do you realize that it's like, oh, I want this blacksmith dead. Okay, I'm going to curse this armor that whoever repairs it fucking dies. Okay, that's enough to kill an ex-military guild soldier. That is 30 points of damage. An ex-military guild soldier.
I think they were talking about the wear. Like if like let's say I'm wearing this armor. If I take 30, it's like the enemy starts stacking me, but it's hurting my armor instead of me. But once they get 30 points of damage, I take that damage as psychic damage. But if the armor is repaired, then that damage is like reset back to 30. Is what I think they were going for there. Does that make sense?
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It was a little funnier the way I was thinking it. Like, I was going to have that used as an assassin tool in one of my adventures for you guys.
We could do that.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like,
either way, it's a good interpretation of it. You know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. Like,
although wait, they do 29%. They do 29 damage. They give it to the guy. It's like, oh yeah, hit it here. It's been acting weird. They go around a corner. That's blacksmith hits it. Boom, they're dead. What were they doing? I guess that armor blew up in their face. I don't know how that happened.
no, it's psychic damage. So it would genuinely be he finished the repairs, and then he fell down, agonizingly screaming as quick Canadian. How much does your average commoner have in HP? It's like 5 HP, right? Because if that is, then that is enough damage to make 6 grown men die. Just that is enough damage to make 6 grown men outright die. And it's psychic damage.
I looked it up. They have average of 4, or it could be a 1d8.
4. Average of 4. Okay, so I retract my statement. That is enough to kill 7 grown men.
7. It's like 7 if we take average. If we rolled and got all ones, imagine that taking out 30 people.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like,
oh, you want to assassinate this nursing home? Here we go.
I mean, like that's a really good way to like assassinate a lawbringer blacksmith, because he at the highest has like the soldier stat block. So it's like, oh yeah, this is 100% an assassination method, I feel like.
How to put a blacksmith shop out of business. I agree, Canadian.
How to make a blacksmith's son have a really big grudge.
Well, I mean, it's like my dad repaired your armor, they died, and now I'm going to blame you. Is that where you're going with that?
Oh no.
Well, because how would they know that repairing the armor that they were repairing caused their death? How would they figure that out?
Technology killed my father. Now I shall reject technology and become the problem of civilization.
Yes.
That you're thinking of it the wrong way. No. I'm not going, oh, he's gonna join an enemy guild. No. I'm going, he's gonna become an eco-terrorist because he believes the god of experimentation killed his father.
This was just an armor. It wasn't like technically technology.
Armor, technology, progressors. Like, remember, this is a person was a child at the time. They didn't really have anywhere to go. Their blacksmith dies. Well, their village doesn't have the stuff to defend itself when winter comes. They get weakened by winter and the harassing monsters of the frontier. The village ends up, struggling. Nature Guild comes in, takes in the village. The boy then understands where the village suffered was because his father died. Oh, so then what failed society and thus this boy? From the boy's perspective, society and technology. So what is the answer? Reject society and technology and go with the natural. And, well, it just so happens that there was a shaman nearby to readily take the boy up on that thought process. And so I'm imagining like a minor faction leader in the nature faction. Where it's like, I don't know. I was just spitballing here for a moment. I might do this, I might not. This was like a meme idea that then like started to become real in my brain.
Yeah, it can always become a story.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So how customizable are we going to allow? Like, how much homebrew? Anything that seems reasonable, or...
It all depends. If it can be made to fit in the setting and it's reasonable and balanced, I don't really mind.
Kames Pact asks, what about a weapon that shoots small animals at an enemy? For druids. I use conjured animals to create 8 pieces of ammo. I start rapid firing, blasting the enemy with kittens. Taking the feet to get catapult would also work, but it'd be a lot. Kill them with fluff.
I got you. I present to you pulls out a gauntlet with a little tiny catapult on it. The catapult. Where this weapon has 3 charges. Each charge counts as a magic missile. Every time the catapult fires, it launches a flurry of magic kittens at the enemy. Each counts as a level 3 magic missile. This is a rare item. It recharges at dawn. But also, you can snuggle in a pile of 50 kittens to recharge it within 10 minutes. Good luck getting a pile of 50 kittens, but if you can, it can be recharged. Next, may I show to you a item that I came up with a while ago that I call the cat condo. And it is basically a little tiny cat home that looks like a Barbie version of a cat mansion. And you are able to put little kitty cats of any kind of species, as long as they're friendly and agree to it, within this spot. You can even catch kitties that want to, if you're able to put them to sleep peacefully and you are not and hostile towards them at the time. This cat condo also allows you to speak with cats, and any kitty you start off on at least neutral terms with. The fact of the matter is that does not mean every kitty is going to agree with wanting to get in your cat condo. You can also, at any point, use a fluff avalanche, which then every single cat and kitty you have ever placed in this is automatically charmed by the cat condo and seeks to, in an avalanche of claw, tooth, and floof, take out whatever target you have deemed. But after the cat avalanche has been done, these kitties will randomly be teleported to random places within 100 miles.
Oh, and Kane's, you ever heard of cat catapult? I would say this be a curse variant, but expendable item can only be used 9 times, 1 for each of the cat's lives.
Okay, can only be used 9 times, 1 for. Okay, so you're trying to test me a little bit here. You're trying to test me a little bit here. I see what you're saying. Okay. I present to you the Cat of 9 Tails. So it is basically a little tiny kitty mailbox that you can open 9 times. And each time, this little kitty mailbox and each time, this little kitty mailbox will give you the location of something. So you can ask it a story or information regarding a situation, and so it basically does the scrying on the enemy and then formats it in a narrative letter to you, and that is the Cat of 9 Tails, because you get to ask it for 9 tails. You could also make this a consumable legendary item by giving it legend lore and making it to where it's like usable, like, you know, it's consumable. It does legend lore as a consumable and so on. Which, I mean, like, would make it a pretty cool legendary item, but, like, I wanted to say scribe because I felt like that was interesting. But if you do want to make it better, you can give it legend lore and put it as a legendary item. Also, after it's been fully used, it does become just a really cool, really expensive little kitty mailbox. Shrieks down to put in your pocket.
Really, I was just thinking it spontaneously just disappears.
Oh yeah, it could do that. It could genuinely like be like a cat and like
Well,
it disappears and like goes to go somewhere. It's like, well, I want my mailbox. Maybe it's like, oh, your character's whole backstory is they had their mailbox once, they used it. Oops. Oopsie daisy.
Kane's Pact asked, you can make your familiar a wasp, right? Could you use your familiar as ammo for a dart gun?
So, do you want the short answer or do you want the long answer? Because I'm a forever DM, and I can tell you what most DMs that um, like realism but don't like to screw people over would probably tell you. I really like the idea of you using your familiar in a dart gun. I would let you use your familiar if you picked a wasp in a dart gun. Because there's a lot of things that also restrict using a wasp, such as like your familiar's probably not escaping if someone notices you. You know what I mean? If you used it for scouting. But like if you used it in a dart gun, you could have your familiar hold an action, and then like you could have someone shoot it through the dart gun, and then you could use your action to cast a spell through your familiar, and like that would be interesting. I feel like that could be an interesting combo because your friend who's spec'd into dart gun. I know this is like probably not what you were wanting to listen to, but this is like me like spitballing and such. Your friend, if your friend spec'd into using dart guns, um,
Forever
poison
poisoning.
blast ammo. Exactly. You could literally, you could do a combo attack if you really wanted to. What if like you looked at your DM and you were like, okay, so here's what I would like to practice in the forest. What are you going to practice? I would like to practice using my familiar as fireball ammunition. What? Like, what is your familiar, buddy? Your familiar is like being shot at the speed of like towards an enemy. And imagining he's like Minato over here, like swinging with the stinger. He don't even have to hit. You're just sniping with a fireball at this point. This is low key a really good strat because I'm pretty sure blow darts can go over 120 feet. Fireball's max range is 120. So, like, you could fire a blow dart to the end of its range. You could cast Fireball through your familiar, like you do, and then that projectile could combo. I, as a DM, would do this. I would let you guys make the rolls for a combo attack like this because I like giving my players cool opportunities to be cool. What DM wouldn't? I don't really subscribe to the aggressive DM. I subscribe to the I'm going to give you opportunities to die, and if you don't, that's great. And if you succeed, I'm hoping you do. But if you don't, I have ideas for plenty of other stories, friendos. Why is blow dart only like 125?
100.
I mean, it's only 100. I mean, if it's the normal blow dart, that I'm thinking of, I can see why it would be 100 because blow darts are basically like the longer the blow dart, the more accurate it's probably going to be. You know what I mean? Most things are the longer the barrel, the more accurate it usually is. I How much damage does blow dart do?
When
Because I
piercing,
feel like one of the reasons blow dart is like 100 feet is because you can put a lot of poisons on a blow dart. You know what I mean?
and also
And you don't really need a whole lot.
it has an ability called Vex. If you hit a creature with its weapon and deal damage to the creature, you have advantage on your next attack roll against the creature before the end of your next turn.
Oh, what was that?
Bolt gun has an ability called Vex. If you attack an enemy and hit it with and deal damage, you get advantage on your next turn to attack.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
What were those
I
dart throwing things
think.
that the Romans had called?
Oh, those were top bottom. Top bottom.
That's what Kane's asked.
Um, so they were called plumbadas, I'm pretty sure, and what they were specifically used was they were a lot like pilum, where plumbadas would stick in your shield, and then they would weigh your shield down to where you had to basically let go of your shield. And then when you finally made contact with the Roman ranks, you had nothing to keep the Romans from stabbing you. The Romans were an industrious people, so they were able to make a lot of plebada.
I don't see why you couldn't make one. Kane's pact. I mean, it's just really just some kind of resin that hardens on contact.
Plebada?
Yeah, isn't that how it would work? Like physically speaking, it'd be some kind of sticky material, right? Or am I thinking something else?
Plumbadas are these huge heavy metal darts that they would throw, basically lawn darts that they would throw into the air and would fall down onto the enemy, and they would basically weigh down the shield.
Or kill them.
Fun fact, that's why sometimes, what was that?
Or kill them.
Or kill them, yes. But the darts were usually used to get rid of enemy shields because they then could defend themselves less. I heard someone talk about it being very easy to use compared to archery, for example. Yeah, it basically is because the whole thing with the plumbadas is all you have to do is get it above the person. Like, it is such a fat, bulbous dart at the bottom that you really don't have anything to worry about.
Yep. And if you miss, you can just go pick it up again for later. And if you
Well,
hit,
it's like throwing lawn darts, you know? It's like throwing lawn darts. It balances to where the tip is going towards the person.
Oh yes, I'm
So
saying
yeah.
ease of use and reusability. So even if it be expensive to make,
Yeah.
they're incredibly reusable.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Canadian asks, how would this be seen mechanically? Like in D&D?
I can tell you. You have disadvantage until you drop or remove this item. Yeah, basically, it is you have disadvantage on any attack rolls until you let go of your shield. I genuinely would say like that person, as long as they have that equipped, they have disadvantage on attacking.
What about the fence? would they?
I would not.
If like someone attacks, me, and I have this in my shield, what would
Yeah,
happen
yeah,
to the?
basically. Um, I would say a Plumbata probably does a D6 damage, a D8 damage, honestly. Um, but
Scary.
as like you have disadvantage on attacking, and the enemy has advantage on attacking you until you drop your shield. Which you can obviously choose to do on your turn. Um,
Yep. I'll be back on
the thing
in a
that
minute.
I okay. The thing that I would say about the Plumbata chat is it's likely very expensive in comparison to other mundane weapons because it uses so much iron. Like it probably uses more iron than like your standard sword, for instance. Oh my gosh, did that really put me on an app? Did we really go on an app break? Oh, also, Rhea. Are you still there, James?
Tank is back.
Ah, Tank, you're back. One thing that I told our beautiful Heartlings is that I imagine the Plumbata, in comparison to other mundane weapons, probably costs more in terms of material.
Hmm. Isn't this meant to be hand thrown? No.
It's hand thrown, yeah, but that's like 4 pounds of iron.
True. Aren't normal swords like 5 to 10 pounds?
Yeah, I know, but your average weapon doesn't cost as much as a sword. You know what I mean?
I can see it. Yeah. But then to go
Yeah,
think
like
about.
I'm saying, like, oh, this should cost more than a halberd. I'm just saying it probably costs not that much below a sword.
And yes, Kames is still
Like,
here.
oh yeah, like I imagine a Plumbata is 1 GP when you could get like a quiver of arrows for 1 GP. However, the thing that makes the Plumbata worth it is, yeah, you get that one shot, but it's really reusable.
Exactly. It's like I
Oh,
can only use on
it
this
is
enemy once,
reusable.
but
It
I can use on
doesn't.
that enemy once, and that enemy
Yeah,
once.
I imagine uh, because of that also, it likely does go up because it's not a consumable, mechanically speaking. So it sounds like it should be that expensive, but like there's economically reasons that the person would likely charge a good amount for a Plebata, considering it's using a lot of his metal. It's a large mass of metal. It's probably going to take a while to shape it into that you know thing, unless the person did a cast, which I don't know what your usual blacksmith would do. In the case of Plumbata, I'm not going to pretend to be. Um,
Apparently, it was.
Oh yeah, 100%. I like that idea. That I You seem like you would be fun to have at a table, Canes. You seem like it would be fun. Fun fact, by the way, everyone. We do plan on eventually hosting one-shot bounties where Hearthlings do get to join us on one shots. But this is an eventually down the line thing once we have everything really settled enough that we can just hand you a template, hand you like info on the guilds and go like, okay, what character you want to do?
Iso?
Huh.
I'm looking at images of this. Apparently, historically, they were like roughly the length of like finger to elbow-ish, but they were made almost like an arrow. So it's actually not that much metal. It's like an arrow tip.
Oh, really?
Yep, with a lead weight attached to it, and then just like the rest of it is just a normal arrow, like a short arrow.
So how much did they weigh?
It was lead weighted, by the way, not only iron. It was lead.
Mm.
It was lead and iron.
Okay, so like, do we know how much a plumbata cost for an ancient Roman?
Wikipedia doesn't tell me, but
Oh no, I agree. That's why whenever like I'm in D&D, I'm like, why would you, if you were going to kill your party, why would you kill your party while you're going through super duper death valley? Why would you betray the people that care about you while you are running from super duper death creature? Like, I understand, like, oh, it's whoever runs the fastest, but is it really whoever runs the fastest when you can't get out of there without the help of the others? Is it really at that point who runs the fastest or just who gets to live the longest?
Kame said I had this whole setup
I
idea for
guess-
using Bold Earth to set up a 1-hour fortress, including latrines.
Oh, dude, you've had that idea too?
Yeah,
Oh, we're gonna be friends. We're gonna be friends.
I can see that working. It's like, I thought
No, I care about, like, I have annoyed DMs before. You can ask Tank because I made one of my characters whole entire quest line was they wanted to free their people from an evil dragon and they wanted to make a country where every minority and every culture got to be heard. And that was this character's whole thing was they were going to be a good person. And it's like, oh, I have a very strict moral compass. If the action doesn't fall within that, I'm not going to do it. And the DM really didn't like that. But a lot of people, like when I've told about this character, they're like, oh, that character sounds great. And it's like, okay, cool. But like, yeah, no, I get that, Canes. I like it. I am very autistic. And so when I make a character, I make them with a gimmick in mind. And I become the best at that gimmick. And nothing stops me. Oh, well, here's the thing. Why stop there, Cames? Why not make a miniature like hill? And then you could dig the earth under it and compress the earth to where you basically do have a little miniature underground fortress. And then you dig a trench around that and make the spikes on that, and then use the dirt from the trench to further make another wall further out away from the trench, and then you make another trench in that wall. Like you could just keep making concentric walls of like trenches and walls with not a trench with a trench in front of the wall and a trench behind the wall. so that they either have to take the extra time to dig under the wall, or they have to take the extra time. Like, fall damage is a thing. Like, even if it's like, oh, it's a d6 after every fall, like, most creatures only have, like, maybe 10 d6 hit points. So, like, just make 10 concentric walls. Like, you could establish a 4-room base camp just by, like, I'm going to make it to where if you try to get me, you're just going to take a lot of fall damage. I don't know.
Yes, Canadian said, not gonna lie, when you still played and win the games I ran, they blew my mind. So many times they had to check the DMG or even science articles to see if stuff was possible. It was so cool for them.
Yeah, no, I play Artificer, and there is a reason for that. I am very creative. As long as one makes sure the plan do not take like too much time to set up, right? Extending long rest from 8 to 9 hours seems fair to me. Yeah, exactly. Like expanding long rest seems fair to me. Like honestly, I'd probably start rewarding you by the fact that you get extra renown on your missions. Why? Because people just always seem to survive with you. Why? Because no one leaves your camp when you start adventuring with them. No one wants to leave you because they feel safer around you than in the frickin' city. Like, I would, if you made this fortress engineer character in one of my games, I would be like, you are known as the bastion of the wilderness because you just make it safe for everyone. And the thing is, because it's mold earth, I'm imagining you could very easily like use thaumaturgy or like prestidigitation to like make it to where there's some grass covering on it. Like there is a spell out there that you could use at later levels where it basically would grow grass on top of it. And it's like, okay, well at that point you've literally made a base that could stay there for weeks. You know what I mean? Because the roots are going to keep everything in place.
Yeah, I can see the wooden defenses there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, like, this is if a person truly wanted to do this, how I would recommend someone do the make this kind. Hey, James, actually, but you like exactly? There could literally be T-Rexes around, and people are sleeping in tents.
Like I understand, yes, temporary, but temporary does not mean we do not leave ourselves undefended. It's like this is the world of
like,
magic. Use it.
In Africa, and this is where, and I hate to say this as though lions are not dangerous creatures, they are. Any commoner still has to fear a lion, and lions exist. Wolves exist. Creatures are more than willing to eat people in these games. Like, not every wolf is going to want to attack a human. But this is a place where that wolf is having to, like, prey is not that easy to come by. And not every peasant can genuinely hunt down a wolf. You know what I mean? The key bonus would be that as a mage, you would not have to spend 4 hours like most people who set up defenses. So what I was wanting to say is, would you mind if I tell you how you would set up this kind of a like preparation defensive character in Thalos, the setting that we've made?
To be fair, even just with her comment now, it's like it does make sense. That's like, oh yes, I can just wave my hand in like 10 minutes. I have a castle built almost. You know what I mean? At least if you go with rules as written.
Yeah, but then you have to think about like load bearing structures and if it's properly going to hold the weight because it's like, 5 cubic feet of dirt. Hey, Tank, you mind looking up how much weight 5 cubic feet of dirt is?
Like how much in weight, or
Yeah, because like 5 cubic feet of dirt. That would mean like the ceiling would be 5 cubic feet of dirt for every five, like obviously 5 cubic feet of dirt, but it would be arranged like the blocks would. So you would have to kind of build this hill a little bit like a step pyramid.
uh, typical topsoil is 375 to 450 pounds. However, if it's damp, wet, or heavily compacted, that can easily increase to 500 to 650
Okay,
pounds.
so Rhea, magic only counts as far as the architecture goes for as long as the magic is actually keeping it together. Uh, Molder doesn't necessarily mean that the architecture is suddenly immune to gravity.
Yeah, it's like I can see like, oh,
Um,
if it's just like 10 minutes or something, yeah, your magic can
I,
hold it there.
I,
But after that, no. It's like eventually the magic runs out and it's just a normal piece of ground.
yeah, I really like that idea, Canes, where it's like, uh, like if you come across a site where someone has made this, like there's usually like signs on the trees and such, and it's usually customary amongst the groups. Like I really want to take this and go like, I see this as like a military guild tradition because it's like, oh well, patrols usually go through the same routes, which means they usually probably go through the same rest sites. The military guild is known for like their engineers are known for leaving these kinds of rest sites. So there's the big thing in like amongst military guild engineers for improving these rest sites. This is the thing. I'm taking what you've said, James, and I'm using it to world build in our world. So we have something called the military guild. We've not thought of a name for it yet. But basically, the one group in Fallows that you could look at and go, these are genuinely the good guys for the most part. And in the military guild, it is literally the big guy should defend the small guy. And it like a big inspiration for the military guild was how Sparta is portrayed, how the 300 Spartans are portrayed in Record of Ragnarok. And so, if you were an engineer in the military guild, that would mean you got up to probably renown 5, I would assume, and you took on the specialist engineer or siege engineer. And that means you are good at 2 things. You have proficiency when it comes to like making like siege engineer stuff, like work. So I imagine like you would gain proficiency in a kind of tool, and you would probably like gain the role play stuff of like, oh well, architecture, engineering. You know what I mean? Um, but there would probably be some mechanical bonuses. But basically, this part of this faction, you could work your way up the military guild and genuinely become a captain of a whole group who basically just waves their shovels around and goes, "We're going to make every barrack safe." Yes, I really like that. I really like that. It would be very fun events during travel. The terrifying thing is that like if it's a rest site that's on like a traveling road, it probably is a rest site that at least one guild was managing, which means this was a site where at least a small number of guild members was taken out. And so, like the question could also be like, oh, these were like trained people that were taken out here. What the heck took them out? You know what I mean?
Exactly, and you can
Like
always
that could be something very interesting.
yep, and you can always be treated with two ideas with it as well. Like, oh, you could go take it out for reward, or if it turns out to some like creature you can't touch, go report it to their guild.
Mhm.
Like taking out probably get you more
So,
renowned, but
oh yeah. So, an interesting, I know what we're going to do for a video tank. We are going to make a video talking about the Captain Ahab character, or like the Captain Ahab inspired character. We are going to come up with their name by the end of this. All right, here we are. All right, everyone, we are going to do an intro because I just started recording. Um, Hello, beautiful people. My name is Isodoro the Changeling, and this is Tank over here. We are coming to you, recording this live. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Isodoro. We're going to design one of the major factions of the Tank. What is the name that you have workshopped for the guild that we've been building for Valos here?
you're talking about the Merchant Guild, correct?
Yes, you did mention that you had an idea. We did come up with a name for that.
The Grand Union of Merchants.
Yes, the Grand Union of Merchants. And so the leader of a major faction is called a CEO, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there is the CEO of this faction who is basically a Captain Ahab-like figure. The interesting part of this is that this Captain Ahab-like figure is a revenant, a very powerful revenant, who used to be who used to be a captain in the military guild. But was he a captain or like a brigadier? I forget. I think he was a captain, right? Like he was the head of like a small barracks. I'm pretty sure. Wait, no, he was just a soldier.
No, he
That's
definitely
something
was
which,
captain.
yeah, definitely would have been a captain. Like, okay, head of the barracks. All right, all right. Because that's why, like, he was able to like make off with just those resources. He was able to go like, okay, I lost everything. My entire unit was gone. I'm just signing out of here. But basically, his family and entire original like colony and such that he was in was destroyed by a sacred beast of the Nature Guild. And the Nature Guild refused to do anything about it. So he took all of the riches and stuff that was in that basically small city and went and sold all of it. And about 24 years later, there was a about 25 years later, a rapidly rising star, came about and rose to prominence as the captain of the Nature Guild. And because he had once been a part of the military guild faction that worked with the Nature Guild, he now really knew how to take out their beasts. And so because he knew how to take out their beasts, then he would do what came natural to him, which was hunt down the strong, hunt down the problems. And so he would hunt these wicked beasts. He would do this necessary evil. And he'd make a profit from it. And someday he would have his wife and daughter back. And so, Tank, would you like to take it a little bit from there?
All right. So it's it's like out of all of this, he sees most animals as just trying to live, But you attack our towns, we have to kill you. He's a little unforgiving, but his heart's generally the right place, except for the species that took his family. Those guys are all gonna die.
And the thing is, they all are dead. There is one remaining member of that species who has basically been transformed into what is called a great spirit of the Nature Guild. And that is basically a spirit that, practically speaking, is kind of like a demigod, kind of, sort of. And is like the spiritual heart.
Oh, Kames is going to go. Have a good night, man.
We pictures. Yay! Beautiful hearthlings have been reached, people.
Yes.
Upgrades, people. Upgrades.
Yep. Thank you for the follow. And
so, that shout out to our buddy Kane's Pact.
He was number 80. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways. Oh, no. It's like our goal was to get to 80 followers, and you helped achieve that, so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we usually shout out anyone that gives us a follow, but it was pretty clear that you're the one that followed us there. So, getting back to what we were talking about.
Yep. And a god has promised our boy here.
Oh yes, the god of the guildmaster of the merchant guild specifically is the one that promised him.
Yep, he promised him, if you are able to slaughter this entire species, I'll bring your family back to you. But another god has brought back the last species and is protecting it. So it's a Captain Nemo and his white whale forevermore.
What are we going to name this person? By the way,
Captain something. I think Captain has to remain, but
Captain. Well, I would like to think that. I mean, it would be Admiral, really. Like, we need to put the respect on this person's name that it deserves. You know what I mean? Because he is the CEO. Grand Admiral?
no, just keep it.
I think Grand Admiral. Hmm?
It will be Admiral something. His name, Admiral. His name, CEO of the Hunters Branch, is the full. Let's see, Kames said Admiral Kipper the. In Canadian, a Grand Admiral Nemo, the Grand Hunter of Beasts. Probably.
I
kind of want to keep it Nemo.
Okay, I have an idea. I have an idea that kind of takes us. All right. Let me cook. So we know the major orders. Like every faction has its major factions, right? And the major factions in this are basically the branches of the mercantile business. You know what I mean? It's like, well, how is business conducted? You know what I mean? And so, Grand Admiral Nemo Supervisor of the Frontiers. Or Grand Admiral Kipper, Supervisor of Grand Admiral Kipper, CEO of Frontiersmen. What about that? Grand Admiral Kipper, CEO of Frontiersmen.
But remember, we're trying to keep the word branch inside of each one. Remember that?
Oh, right. The it's branch. Okay.
It's like, I'm just thinking CEO of the Hunters branch.
Oh, okay. CEO of the Frontiersman branch.
Okay.
Because I think it would be like Frontier or Frontiersman. Because this is like the guy where it's like, oh, these are the French traders. Do you know what I mean? Um, we did talk about this. Are these functioning more like French Canadian trading outpost people, or is this functioning more like the Dutch East Indies Company? Because it seems like this is kind of the lawful good branch of this guild,
I would say it's the
but the
lawful
dude
good
has
branch.
his.
It's just, yeah. It's like, I would say, except for his obsession with his white whale, it's like this guy is relatively a good leader. You know what I mean? He's generally good. It's like he wants the best. Technically, he wants the best for everybody. But he has this obsession, which is
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like
yes.
there might be like a little bit of a division culturally in this guild where it's like, oh, well, in this branch, like it's like, oh, well, some are like they're pretty cool with the nature faction. You know what I mean? Like they're all right with it. And then he's like, you do not do dealings with them. Do not. Or maybe it is like, well, it depends on the nature faction tribe. You know what I mean? Maybe it genuinely is like, oh, I murked all of the ones that wanted to like keep me from this. But like the nature faction, I feel like obviously hates this guy by now.
I would say they hate the CEO, but they're pretty cool with most of the frontiersmen themselves, because most of them are doing just a service to keep people safe.
Right. And that does make sense. It's like most of the time they're just going to hunt dangerous beasts and so on. But a lot of times it does end up exploiting the land. So it's like I feel like these two guilds clash a lot of times. Like this is the branch that most often clashes with the Nature Guild, I think. But I feel like this is also the branch that is more than willing to do like trade with the followers of the Elemental Lords. So I feel like it fights the Nature Guild a lot, but I feel like it does trade with the followers of the Elemental Lords a lot.
It's one of those things that's a little bit of A, a little bit of B. You know what I mean? It's really just up to the person. Because obviously some people are in here as trophy hunters. They don't care what they hunt as long as they hunt it. It's like, I don't care that this is the last of its species. I want its head on my wall.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing. Well, I feel like the Nature Guild by this point for this major branch, because of what happened in like the earlier portion of the branch, back when this guy like before he learned his lesson of genocide's not good.
Except for this one species. Fuck this one species.
Yeah, no, I feel like because he's a revenant, he still has that hatred. Like he definitely still has that hatred, and that's the thing. Like I feel like there is like a quota for like different fleets for how much have you done towards the Nature Guild, because he's a revenant. He has that hatred. It's like if you are not bringing me closer to my goals, why am I paying you? But also, he's a businessman, so he understands. And I feel like he's okay with taking his time a little bit. So I see it's the nature guild though that I feel like does look at this person and is like, we cannot trust you and we cannot trust your people. Do not come onto our land. And then they come onto their land, and then the nature guild fights back, and then that, yeah. But usually it's like small scale skirmishing. I don't think they go like into big, large scale combat that often, you know?
No. It's like, I don't see the Nature Guild doing that too often unless, extinction level events happen,
Well, like, I can see a tribe reacting if you are like damaging their ecosystem or like you are threatening a holy site.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
know?
Yeah, it's like, I'm saying big as a, like, multiple. It's like one tribe going after like a branch or something like that. It's, I would say it happens fairly often, but not like stupidly often. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. It is something where it's like, hey, yo, we need to try to like keep things civil with these locals. Like maybe we should cut back on this a little bit.
And what guys? Oh, you're your representative?
Um,
Shoots him in the face. Fuck you. Take his corpse out as a warning. And then they're all
right.
murdered.
The thing that I really like about this story of Grand Admiral Nemo, CEO of Frontiersman Branch. Um, I I feel like it's an interesting story between these two characters because it is. We've not talked about the others, so I'm going to talk about the other legendary character in this, which is the Moby Dick of this story, which we haven't given him a name, but they are. When we talked, we said that we wanted this to be the last of the Aklut, right?
We were thinking of it, but is that
Do we want to change that?
Hmm. I don't
Like, what sort of like creature do we want this to be the great spirit of?
I'm not sure. Uh, I haven't put that much thought into it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay, well, maybe not draconic. I'm not feeling draconic with it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like dragons are a big part of another guild, so it shouldn't be that.
I mean, we could make it the last ancient forest, the last like ancient amber dragon. Amber dragons wouldn't really be in the Lawbringer guild. I don't think there's a lot of dragons that wouldn't be in the Lawbringers.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, we could make it a kind of Native American spirit, or based off of one of those. Mm, idea, idea. Okay, so you know the Great Lakes region, right?
Yeah.
There's a creature that is apparently known for guarding copper deposits in there. Could you look that up, please? It's like Great Lakes region, copper deposit, spirit. While Tank's looking that up, um, an interesting thing to note here is this faction pioneered the merchant guild's way of dealing with large monsters. Do 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 do.
This is the Mishi Pesu. I'll put that in chat real quick. If I can. I don't want to copy link, I just want to copy text.
Mishi Pashu.
There we go. The Mishi Peshu. The underwater panther.
Also translates to the Great Lakes. But if we want it to where, it is like, oh, it could be anywhere, it could genuinely like move between different places. It might be it probably can cast spells, like making it a magical creature, but is covered in scale. So I'm just going to read the Wikipedia. An underwater panther, Mishi Peshu, or Mishi Bishi. My brain short circuited trying to read that. Oh, okay. Dyslexia kicked in, and yeah. Mishi Peshu is one of the most important of several mythical water beings among many indigenous people of the northeastern woodlands and Great Lakes region, particularly among the Anishinaabe. So we're not going to cut cloth the Mishi Peshu. We're going to take this and we're going to use it as inspiration for the creature we're going to make, okay? Because I don't feel comfortable just ripping whole cloth one of their creatures because I feel like I'm not going to do it justice because I don't know the cultural context. It would be like a Japanese person putting Jesus in their manga. How are they going to understand how to portray like Jesus if they're not like Christian? You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, it is a
Like
good.
you know the difference when a person of a religion portrays someone that they're not of.
It does it
So
badly.
yeah, exactly. And I am not in the culture of the Great Lakes Native Americans.
Yes.
Michipashi calls Michipikoten Michipikoten Island in Lake Superior its home and is a powerful creature in the mythological traditions of some indigenous North American tribes. Da, 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 da. Okay, so it's apparently the most powerful underworld being. The Ojibwe traditionally held them to be masters of all water creatures, including snakes. Some versions of the Nanabazo creation legend refers to whole communities of waterlings. Some archaeologists believe that underwater panthers were major components of the southeastern ceremonial complex of the Mississippian culture in the prehistoric American Southeast. Um, hmm, interesting. So, I didn't know they were supposed to be this powerful in their mythos. So this is something that like would have already kind of been a great spirit and then kind of got a boost, it seems. Um, but these are apparently some pretty strong creatures. Um, I mean, I imagine that's different to like a god. So, or like,
I'm not too sure either.
should we pick a different one?
Hmm. It's not too important at this moment. We can keep it in the back of our heads for later.
Okay, that's fair. But basically, this creature had watched its species be extincted because one young, you know, male of the species who was misled by a young, fiery nature guild member, you know, trampled a village. And it's like, yes, that is horrible, but you did not have to kill my species, right? This is so far from proportionate measure, my guy. And dude's like, until every one of you pay. Like, dude's on some Dracula shit where it's like, there were innocents, there are none now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We did mention that like this creature is specifically the beast leader because they're like two leaders of like each faction in the nature. Well, really like kind of three leaders in the nature. Each like uh, rank of the nature faction. There's like the shamanistic, and then there is like the chief. You know what I mean? So there's like the spirit that is a leader, and there's the chief, and then there's like the shaman or whatever kind of deal in this like nature faction. And so the with the spirit, so this is the spirit that is the leader of its specific faction that it leads. Is a faction that is primarily of creatures of the Nature Guild. So this is the swarm slash horde of meat, muscle, claw, skin, bone, and just outright force. Um, so if Grand Admiral Nemo is the game hunter, um, this is the trampler of civilizations. Would you disagree with that, Tank?
No, that seems to be fairly accurate with what we're going for with this.
So it's like I imagine this beast with like its wounds and its hatred stoked. Uh, bides its time and like prepares its forces, and eventually goes on a rampage to lure the admiral out, and then the admiral comes and tries to fight, and then there's always like this huge war between them when they do fight, but the Merchant Guild always seems to make a large portion of profit off of it, and the Nature faction always seems to feel like the creature, managed to make the guilds pay, and the Nature faction always seems to like gain some ground during that war, you know?
Yeah.
Like whenever this beast, so it's like, oh yeah, well that great spirit, he's taking charge. And it's like, yeah, he is. I imagine like this is where it's like, oh, you see the elite unit of T Rexes, being ridden into combat, and these are like multi adaptation stage in T Rexes. You know what I mean? Oh, that's also not to talk about how like nature itself, when this guild claims territory, like has a tendency of fighting back when you try to take territory from this guild. So it's like you really don't want this guild to be able to put down roots when they kick you out of a place, because they're really going to put down roots if they kick you out of a place. Um, but yeah, this is I like this. It's
Yes.
pretty fun.
I am enjoying this. This has been fun.
So this person's answer to the huge creatures was, let's get big guns and a more skilled crew, and we'll use like more elite chaff to slow down creatures, right? But that's kind of like what this dude's thing is. Would you say, or like, how would you say this guild usually has a habit of configuring its ships and usually has a habit of fighting, like this major branch?
The Hunters Guild is probably.
Well,
We are still talking about the Hunters branch, right?
yes.
I would say these are more
Going
like.
back to the Mhm.
I would say this is probably more specialized. Like instead of chaff, this is more like specialized hunters. You know what I mean? Obviously, they would still have some chaff like hunting dogs or other hunting beasts, but this is more about taking out the one threat. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but like I'm talking about when this guild has to like fight off guild forces of the nature guild. Because I assume when they go on big hunts, usually the nature guild tries to intervene.
Yeah, it's like I would say still chaff with them like at the back sniping. You know what I mean? Or however they fight. Just long
I
range
agree.
combat.
I agree. So I imagine like drones, um, mercenaries. Like we talked about, like Aarakocra in the past. Like what sort of races do you think are in this faction? Like I imagine Goliaths would be in this particular branch.
What was that creature? I've not heard of that creature.
Sort of like Goliath.
Goliath? Oh, okay. I thought you said something else. Sorry, it's late. My
Oh,
brain's
the
not.
cockroach,
Okay, I've
the
not
bird
heard of them
people.
before. The what people?
They're basically like these bird people that don't really fully understand property. Apparently, like they have a hard time with object permanence, I guess, or something like that. I don't know.
I could see it then.
I imagine goblins get hired in this guild a lot.
I can see that as well. And
Like
then,
it's like, oh, who do you what scrappy hunters get put in the small boats that gets sent out to harass and usually have a bomb in the middle of it? Goblins.
yep. It's like, sir, that's a wooden dinghy. It's like, how is that going to damage the enemy vessel? Wait for it. Kaboom. Did you mean for that to blow up, sir?
Mm,
Yes.
I knew those little goblins couldn't resist opening the package. I told them it was a gift and a peace offering. Okay, that's not a very lawful good action. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I need to reel that back a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, this is not the lawful evil portion of the guild. Okay, reeling that back. Got to reel back the villain a little bit there. I don't know where villainy was coming out there, but ooh, reel it back a little bit.
There's definitely a guy or two in there that has done that before, but it's considered unsportsmanlike, you know?
Well, they've definitely also like. Are we sure this isn't the lawful neutral branch?
I can see lawful neutral for these guys. It's like they try to stay on the good side, but sometimes you gotta do get dirty, you know? Now this is a lawful neutral.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's like, well, whereas yes, they usually do tend to like try to be I don't know. Alignment is a finicky thing that's hard to like define. I imagine like there's a lot of captains that are lawful good. You know what I mean? I imagine there's like a lot of shipwrights that are lawful good, but I imagine like quite a few admirals are like, you know what I mean? And quite a few people are because like let's be honest, it's you are being hired to make a profit. It's not exactly going to prioritize um, morality, but like there is a bit of a code with the merchant guild, so it's kind of like lawful neutral leans towards lawful good. But it depends on the branch. It's like with this branch, like, are we thinking lawful good or lawful neutral?
This branch, I would
Like,
definitely
what do
say,
you tolerate their people doing?
yeah, I would definitely say this is neutral. Like we're here to take this beast out, whether you like it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And whereas they would prefer to work with you amicably, they are not against having to do unsavory business sometimes. And that's the thing, like every branch of this guild has its good side and its darker side. And the darker side of this branch of the guild is its exploitation of native populations through provocation. Like I imagine like members of this guild will like sometimes intentionally provoke native guild members because it's like, oh well, if we get them to charge a force in us, we will be able to bag multiple of their beasts, and we won't have to use as much fuel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also imagine the tactic has backfired multiple times.
Yeah. I would think it would have to. You know.
Oh yeah.
All right. We flesh these guys out a little bit. How about we head to one of the other branches of the guild?
Oh, okay. I'm listening.
a name for these yet, but just the regular old bank. You know what I mean?
Like, you mean that particular member? Or
Like the bank branch. You know what I mean? Like we are the ones that deal with the money. We'll get you A to B. You know, or we'll get your funds. You deposit your money with us. It's safe up to a certain amount. You know what I mean? Like a legitimate bank that's just trying to do business, get loans, collect on those loans. You know what I mean?
um I mean, that is definite. I feel like every ship kind of has one of those people on there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um,
Well, there definitely would be. I'm talking about just the branch as a whole. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like they would have the same ranks. It's just they would likely be called like different things.
All right, so you don't want to make this a major branch, then just make this like an important but minor branch.
Okay, so like with the Lawbringers, for instance, right? We made it to where the priest, the knight, and the politician progression ladders went off of the same rank system, but they just had different names.
Okay.
So, like in this, it would be banker. And okay, well, what role does a banker usually fill? Well, they're probably going to be filling like, cleric, or they're probably going to be what because there would be the ship boys, the bankers, and the legal people, right? And so the legal people would probably be your warlocks, your sorcerers, um, and your wizards, your law mages, one could say. But the ones that are considered bankers, I would imagine, are the clerics. Because they're the tax collectors. Like we did talk about this before.
Yes, I was just trying to get like the major like part of the guilds handled. You know what I mean? Not the nitty gritty exactly.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, I get you, I get you. Um, so like those would be like the clerics and such. So I imagine it would be the progression trees would be the bankers slash like so it's like like
Well, what?
that would probably
Uh, uh, I have no idea what I'm trying to say. Never mind.
right. No, I had to switch gears to
Yep. It's like we were trying to figure out the
mhm.
branches of this guild. You know, I mean, the Hunter's branch is the most fleshed out one we have. We haven't really talked about the other ones.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I was thinking instead of like factions in this, they're all branches. You know, like this is the major hunting branch. But we got these little guys over here that do guard buildings for a fee. You know what I mean? Or they protect this
okay.
area.
Like mercenary branch.
Yeah, that is a good idea to call them.
Well, it would be more like PMC, private military corporation, private military company. So they would probably have a different name. There'd probably be something like Kellogg's Heavy Infantry Private Company.
Yep. it's like I was just trying to get like the major ideas behind each branch. You know what I mean? It's like we just went in depth with the Hunters Guild because we had a good idea for that.
Oh, hey Tank, why don't you put the Discord down in the Twitch chat? Someone's asking for it. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. But yeah, thank you very much, Carrier. Okay, Car- hmm. I'm happy to meet you, Rero. Do, 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 do. Um, so, uh, very happy to have you here, by the way, Hartley. Very, very happy to meet you. This has been an active day, and I'm very happy that people are talking. So, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Do we want to talk about the company that is all about like we are going to strip everything
I was legitimately just going to put that
like the
underneath the
British?
main banking guild. You know what I mean? It's like you can. Oh yes, we have all. You have an area that needs riches harvested. Why we have that service under our umbrella. What? Where is it that you need?
I like that. Okay, let's make it. Go on, spin it for me.
All right. It's like I have no idea how to make a Discord link, so I've been trying to figure that out. But Tank
Okay,
does not
so
know how to do that.
first they are all about
Oh, I'm talking about the
expendable.
Discord link, not the guild here.
Okay, let me get it in there. Um, let me do the Discord link real quick.
Yes, that's something I'll have to learn at some point. But yes. All right, the banking guild. This is where a lot of the loans come into play. You know, it's like, oh yes, we have this for a fee. You know what I mean? And a lot of times they're just a middle ground, but they also run like the black market and whatnot. And like any organized crime can probably be linked back to this group, this guild. You know what I mean? And see, mining. Oh, we got that covered. Oh, you happen to need this one specific item that might just not be so legal. Well, slip us some cash and I might know a place you can look. And
So this is the part of the guild that is 100% the lawful evil branch. That's what I'm
Yes.
hearing.
Yes. But one thing they do, but the one thing they do care for is they're a legitimate bank. It's like that's how they get away with a lot of their stuff. Is they are a legitimate bank. It's like you can put your money in here, travel across realms, and your money will still be secured.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Everything's legal with this guild. It's just to the letter, not always the spirit. And that's why the lawbringers get along with this guild, and the military guild don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm just thinking,
Hmm.
I'm thinking just
Mhm.
simply calling this the Bank of Phalos. Like it's meant to inspire that trust, even though they shouldn't be trusted.
I like that. Yeah, the Bank of Phallus. I mean, genuinely though, that does seem like it would fit. And they have every right to call themselves that legally. It's not false advertising. Hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Yes, I haven't thought of a guild master for, or the, the CEO of this branch, but it's like I was thinking something either someone that transformed themselves into a near immortal that's into running this bank in part to keep themselves alive. Like maybe an artificer that turned
Oh, so
themselves into clockwork creature or something like that.
well, what if we talked before on how their immortality, they get through their contract magic, if you remember.
Oh, I forgot about that.
What? Yeah. So, like, what if the lawful evil person is genuinely because he needs to be able to, at any point, give someone an offer they can't refuse so that he can keep getting that time?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember this conversation now. Yeah, we have a special
Yeah.
ability to control time magic, but only through the letter of contracts.
Well, different kinds of magic. So, like, for instance, you could put in a contract that, oh, well, at some point, I will call upon your skill and ability to cast a insert spell here out of your repertoire. Like that is something that one could do through this contract magic, but that is like a contract that one would have to like make.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Um, I imagine it's like, oh, okay, they already paid it, but it was kind of like stored in the contract, and you've not chosen to receive it yet. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I imagine like these are like the stall, like they will just stall because it's like, or you could have a banking guild member, if it's someone that it's like, oh, you know they do end up doing like a lot of contracts for like favors, I imagine. Don't know. What do you think?
I could see that happening. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting tired here, so
Okay. Do you want to sign off?
I could stay for a little bit longer, but it's like I'm gonna start becoming less talkative, so you're gonna have to keep nudging me.
Yeah. No, I'm getting there too. So it is probably best that we hop off.
Yeah,
All right.
but we got a good bit done here, so.
Mhm. All right, lovely people. That was some of our world building on the world of Phalos. We hope you have a wonderful evening. We hope you have a wonderful night. We hope you have a wonderful day. And whatever it is for you, we hope you wonderful hearthlings decide to stay. If you don't, we love you anyway. Um, love you. Hate to leave you. Gotta leave you. Gotta go have some nappies. Love you very much and have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.
Yep. Have a good night,